Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Bobby FPS. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. I believe we just broke 600 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for enjoying my videos, watching my videos. I'm surprised I'm so surprised that we kind of got past the 600 mark. That's a big achievement for me, and now I'm just trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I think that'd be an awesome goal to kind of crush by the end of the year. So thank you guys so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you are new. And as always, I'm always open for feedback, criticism. I don't know everything, and I'll never claim to know everything. So I just get excited about showing firearms to you guys, and hopefully it helps you guys in some way or another. And besides that, hope you guys have a wonderful time watching the video. Oh, hey YouTube. As you can probably tell from the title, we have the 1301. I figured we'd have to do a 1301 review, obviously, since we did the Benelli M4. So I don't know if they're really competing, but we will do a comparison. There are some nice features, and we'll kind of do the more in-depth specs and stuff like that a little bit later in the video. But just to kind of start it off, we have a 7+1 tube capacity compared to the Benelli, which is a 5+1, just because it's made in the USA. This is the barrel is imported from Italy, but everything else is made in the United States. So that is kind of a nice benefit that you do get with buying something that's made in the States, is you get that little bit bigger of tube capacity. I really do love the bit release on the shotgun compared to the Benelli. It's a lot easier to hit. Just your entire fingers can kind of connect to it compared to the Benelli, which is kind of just a little circle to release that bolt. So that is one of the biggest features I really like on this. And also the blink system, that is what this shotgun uses compared to your Argo to obviously regulate the gas. It's not inertia based. So that allegedly is about 30% better compared to other shotguns. I don't know specifically if it's better than Benelli. I know the only advantage the Benelli really has compared to the Beretta 1301 right now is it's been military tested and combat tested, while this is not. So that's the one thing the Benelli has. But as us normal civilians, we're not going into combat. I believe for about $500 less, this Beretta 1301 will just be just fine. So that is one thing to kind of take into account. But that's enough talking. We'll kind of go into the specs a little bit later. But let's just get some shooting in. Hey guys, welcome back. So we kind of finished shooting everything. We're still at the range here. Gun is empty, gun is safe, so no one freak out, please. I'm just gonna quickly list the things that I really liked, especially during this, when I was putting shells down range, just because I put 50 to 60 shells through. So the barrel's still a little hot, but there's a lot of things I really do love about this firearm. We'll kind of just start from the rear and work to the end of the barrel. But the biggest thing I really did like was this butt pad. It definitely kind of helped you absorb that recoil. The second biggest thing that I really enjoyed compared to the Benelli would be the cheek pad here by Mesa Tactical. That's a really nice feature that I kind of enjoyed. The biggest feature for me though, almost like the selling point for me, would be this big bolt release. Kind of like an AR-15, I'd almost describe it. Obviously, it's on the right side. You can kind of just slap it when you get really good with it, and back into action. So that's one thing I really like compared to the Benelli, which was just a little circle. So another thing, and that's with all shotguns for me, is I really love that pistol grip. I'm just a bigger fan. I can control the firearm better and be more maneuverable with it, and that's just personal preference, so just take that into account. We get our typical Picatinny rail up top, nothing too fancy. You can put your EOTech or your Hollow Sun, even aim point if you'd like, but that's that. The one thing that there's two things I really didn't, that I have to get used to regarding this firearm, and it's not things, they're not bad things, but the first thing, just from me shooting the Benelli so much, is to allow the shells to keep going into the chamber. You need to press this little button right here, if you can see it, right there. And on the Benelli, it's basically right near the trigger guard or the safety, and I'm just more used to just pressing that, and then obviously feeding the tube. So that's just one thing. So let's say, you drop your bolt, throw your shell in, slap it, and then you keep, you feed your shells, and then you got to press that, so it'll actually keep taking shells from the tube. That's just one little quirk that I'm not accustomed to. It doesn't mean that no one else is, or you're not going to like the shotgun, but that's just one thing. The other thing that, granted, this shotgun, depending on what make and model you get compared to the Benelli, is about roughly $500 to $600 cheaper. So the plastic handguard, initially I was not a fan of it, just because it looks cheap. Like I said, the MSRP of this is $1,500 USD. I'm actually very pleased with this plastic. Like I said, I put about 60 shells through, and it did an extremely good job keeping heat away from my hands. I wasn't wearing gloves in the time of testing, and just making sure, like, can this handguard kind of stop the heat from the barrel, because the barrel was pretty hot. So initially I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it's kind of won me over, and it kind of saves a little bit of weight, so I'm always for that. It's kind of up to you if you like that kind of design or not, but for me, it's not the end of the world. The other thing is you gotta get a QD mount right here at the front of the barrel, and then you do not get any QDs in the back, so you're just gonna have to tie them. And then obviously this is an 18.5 barrel shotgun, exactly like the Benelli. The last thing that we have to talk about is their blink system. So that's their gas system, compared like how the Benelli has the Argo gas system. It's very hard. I think that's going to have to be a future video that I would have to make, just kind of comparing both shotguns and their cycle rate. This felt very great, honestly. It's very hard. They're obviously both 12 gauges. Maybe I would give a slight advantage to the Beretta, just because it has a little bit bigger of a tube and it holds that 7+1. Besides that, it's very, very close between the Benelli and the Beretta 1301. The Benelli M4 or the Beretta 1301. So, and besides that, the trigger is decent. I would say it's comparable to a Benelli. Nothing too crazy. I'll test it out for you guys. It's pretty light, to be honest, so like it's a pretty good trigger, honestly. Nothing, very smooth. We'll do it one more time for you guys. So pretty snappy, pretty clean, pretty crisp. Like I said, put quite a few rounds through it. It's a little bit dirty, but for 300 shells, excuse me, this doesn't look too bad. So besides that, I have another video kind of coming up in the next few days.